Welcome to another episode of Bentley's Backwoods Bushcrafting. And today I'm going to show you how to make a ghillie suit, or in this case it ended up being a blanket, and also use it as a tent cover overhead camouflage. It's about 2 feet wide and almost 11 feet long. And when I originally started out, I planned on making just like a ghillie shirt, and it kind of went from there. But it can get expensive. This like 2 foot by like 11 foot blanket, over the years that I've worked on it, it's probably cost me about $300, and it can be expensive, but it's been over many years. So what we do is I get this little yarn from craft stores, and with depending on the color, with this one I did a lot of browns and greens and a little shades of mustard yellow every once in a while. Mimicked the woodlands that I have around me, and this one is going to be whites and little bits of smatterings of off-whites for what's going to end up being this white one here. And I'm going to show you how to make it. So we begin, this is just a piece of cardboard that I cut and I taped just so that it'd be a little sturdy. It's 11 inches long, and that's how long I make my pieces. So what I do is I take one of these little yarns, and these range from they're probably around 50 cents a piece is pretty much how they end up. But I take the little packagings off of them, get to the strip end up here, and all I do is just weave it, wrap it around this 11-inch piece of cardboard, and I'll do that. And it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. My stuff is practical and it works before it's pretty. But once you get it wrapped around, all you do is take a pair of scissors and cut it. Then just get it folded in half and cut again. And that's the lengths that I use for my my ghillie. So when I use multiple collars, I'll usually use about 5 to 7 strands of each. So what I do is I grabbed a couple whites and one each of these off-white colored ones, and I got one strand here like this, and put them all together and I create a little strand. Okay, can you zoom in here? There you go. So you get a little strand like this, and what I do is just basically fold that in half, and I have it like this, and then I'll take my netting, and if you can see, this is just a white piece of netting. And to be totally honest, this stuff is about well, where I'm from, it cost me about $7 a yard for this, and I'm using white for this one because it's going to be winter. I used black on the other one because it was the woodland. So what you do is you just fold it in half, and all you do is you push it through one of the holes and then back up through a hole next to it, and then it's secured in there like that. And then what I do is I separate them back up so that I have that loop. So I have that loop like this on one end, and then I have the loose ends here, and at this point it's secured in the fabric. So I take the loose ends and run it through the loop and pull it tight, and there you go, and then it just becomes part of the whole thing here. And like I said, this one's the winter one. It's going to be mainly white, off-white, and I'll show you my bigger one here as soon as I get all this stuff off of it. And then I take this here. This is my big one here. And I said, this one, I've been working on this thing for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years. Just every once in a while I'll get it out, I'll sit down and I'll put pieces on it. But it makes a real, it is kind of heavy. I'll give you that. It is kind of heavy. But it makes a great tent. It's a camouflage tent. It makes a fantastic blanket. It makes a great hide. You can put it and make a top covering so you can hide underneath it, lay on the ground. You can put it on like a poncho. You can wrap it around you like a blanket. This thing has 1,000,001 uses when it comes to camouflage. The only real drawback is because it's so big, it is really heavy. But other than that, this thing is fantastic, and I highly recommend that if you're looking for something camouflaged, that you make this. Now there's other ways you can make them that's probably less expensive, but I don't know, this, to me, I just love the way this is, and I love the way it looks out in the woods. So I'm willing to put a little extra cash into it, and over a period of time it works out fantastic for me. So thank you for watching Bentley's Backwoods Bushcrafting, and this is the camo blanket.